TV, on Channel One TV on Fridays, I will look at a particular sector, bring you the issues within that particular sector. I will tell you what you need to know. Today, fortunately for us, we have the Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Authority, that is Professor Nana Ama Brown Kluche, who is actually joining us for us to have conversations within that her sector, which is the Environmental Protection Authority. You're welcome, Prof. How are you doing?
Thank you.
How's it going with your sector? Okay, after taking over as the Chief Executive Officer, how has it gone with you? What are some of the new things you brought on board?
Well, thank you. I would say so far so good. We have some challenges, but largely we've made a lot of progress. We started in January 2025, as you may know, and throughout 2025 to January to December, we made significant progress. Let me start with our financials. We've made, I would say, 50% more in generation compared to the 2024 financial year. And so that's a big improvement. And we have increased our staff strength.
Okay.
I think over the year. So now we have employed up to 2,300 new staff on contracts.
Wow.
So our total staff strength is about 3,000 now, whereas we need a strength for the offices that we have opened and also to improve the staff strength in the region. So the old offices and the new offices that we have opened. Currently, we have opened about 50 district offices across the regions of the country. So far, so good. We are doing well. You remember, if you might have seen on social media or in the news, that we topped the financial performance as an institution. And that is from the Ministry of Finance. Additionally, we received also 2 awards from SIGA, so which means that per our mandate, we are doing well, and financially, we are doing well. Last year, we were able to commit to 80 vehicles completely from our IGF, so this is no loan, no donation, completely from our performance. So we have done, I would say, a lot from our side.
Of which the 80 vehicles, we know that you are using the internally generated funds. We saw about 40 being taken. You've taken delivery of 40 so far.
Yes, we've taken delivery of 40. We are expecting the other 40 to come in next month. They are already on sea, arriving. I was told next month in May we should receive the other 40 for our operation. Same last year, let me tell you, also on our financials, we were able to save and even sent our surplus to Ministry of Finance.
Oh, nice.
So we did really well.
The sector is really doing well.
So far, so good. I have good support of the staff, both old and new, and I have good support from the management as well as the board.
Wow.
So
but there may be some challenges in there. I mean, I'm sure you tell us about that as the Chief Executive Officer. Yeah. But let's move to some of the things you actually made mention of when you became the Chief Executive Officer. Key amongst them is the issue of the illegal mining, or LMC. What has the fight been like so far from your end?
Yeah, I think you see it in the news as well so far, what we've been doing as EPA. And even procuring these additional vehicles to support our operations is part of the fight against the illegal mining. We've done a lot going out there to the field to seize equipment on the field. We have been seizing equipment. Some fine that comes through the port, we have been seizing them right at the port. So we have been to warehouses and shops that actually sell or supply these illegal mining equipment to miners, and we have been closing them down, seizing their equipment and other supplies that they give to the illegal miners. So I would say so far, as an authority, we are doing our best. We can do more, so we are putting ourselves together, our resources together to do more. Next week we have issued. Last week we issued a compliance notice to the big mining companies, the legal mining companies, because we also realize that illegal mining are happening on their concessions, and so next week we are taking on nationwide mining compliance monitoring with even the legal mining companies to ensure that they don't allow illegal mining activities on their concession. Then we'll still continue with our normal compliance monitoring for all companies that need to comply to environmental standards.
Just to also chip this in, we know that there will be payer monitoring and all that. What may have accounted to the fact that you issued that particular statement that has to talk about the mining companies, some of them indulging or into illegal mining activities? And is this one of the challenges I can say that from your end you're actually battling with?
Yes. So if you are issued a concession, it means you own an area which you are responsible for protecting and mining at that place. So allowing illegal activities on it, you are supposed to be responsible for that. And as EPA, we don't allow, or we're supposed to ensure that illegal mining activities do not happen. We know it's happening, and so that is why we need to go on compliance monitoring to ensure that at least these companies will not allow illegal activities on their concessions. So that's why we issued those statements out last week. Yeah.
And you made mention of the fact that sanctions were meted out to these companies. We saw one today or yesterday, Adamus Resources.
Yeah.
Is that company also bearing the brunt of maybe what they may have been doing and the fact that you may have issued that particular statement?
Yes, so that is just one of those about Adamus Mining. There are quite a number of issues about them. Because the statement is already out, I wouldn't want to reiterate all of them here. But allowing illegal activities on their concession is one of the issues we have with them.
So that means that your outfit or the authority and other sister agencies will be coming after other companies who may be, or what will be your warning or your caution to these companies?
Yeah, so that's exactly the statement we issued out there. That's warning the legal miners, I would say, or companies mining in Ghana to take ownership of their concessions, to be responsible of their concession, not to allow illegal mining activities on their concessions. Because when we come and then we find out that you are allowing that, we'll take it as you are complying to or working with them. So that is illegality, which it's against our rules or our laws. So we have to take you on. So depending on the scale or the level of non-compliance on your concession, we take you up. If you have to revoke your license, we have to do that. If you have to give you a penalty to pay, it depends on the scale of what we come to see.
As part of the things you've also been doing, you touched on VAT leaching. How widespread is this particular issue, and what has been the comment from the Environmental Protection Authority?
Okay, so we realize that most of these mining concessions have, or areas have, VAT leaching happening on their concessions, and in some areas VAT leaching are also happening on their own, not on other concessions. VAT leaching is, until today, I would say it's illegal. Because we don't have it in our mining laws as method of mining. So EPA has come up with guidelines to properly monitor or regulate this method of mining. It's widespread. It's all over in all the mining areas. We found out that it's happening right from the northern part of Ghana, upper east is happening there. It's happening in upper west, it's happening in western region, western north, all over Ashanti region, all over the country. Areas where we have mine, we see VAT leaching also happening there. So we come up with guidelines to properly regulate these activities on areas where they are required or they can do the VAT leaching. You can just acquire any space. All you need is the sand or the tailings to do the processes. But it has to, these are columns people make and process this sand, and they get their gold out using cyanide. And we know how cyanide is dangerous to the environment. So they need to properly regulated, trained on how to use this process. Otherwise, we shouldn't allow it to happen. But we know our problem. It's widespread. It used to be done by foreigners, especially those from Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire. But today, Ghanaians are also involved in it. And you go down and you see that a lot of Ghanaians are now involved in it. So if you say you stop it, you're taking somebody's daily bread out of. And we see also that per the guidelines we are coming up with, we can regulate it so that it has minimal impact on the environment, especially because of the use of cyanide in that. So we trying our best to ensure that we curtail all the problems this VAT leaching will come up with.
So which other methods or ways are you putting in place as EPA to ensure that we win the fight against illegal mining?
Yeah, thank you. So EPA is embarking on a project to, we call Planet Gold, is to train miners on methods that are mercury-free, cyanide-free, to be able to process their tailings or process the gold without making a huge impact on the environment. So it's cyanide-free, mercury-free methods that miners can use. So this is a project EPA is embarking on. EPA is also embarking on the same VAT leaching training and certification of miners to ensure that they do sustainable mining. We are also doing certification for mining service providers. So there are people who provide services. They are not miners themselves, but they provide services for miners. Water quality treatment, provision of chemicals for miners and charcoal and all of that for miners. We are also providing training for them. We have other projects supported at World Bank on small-scale mining and landscape. So we do reclamation of land, of mined areas to ensure that at least we get back the land to its original shape, plant trees, and provide alternate livelihood for miners and families of that miners depend on. So these are other ways EPA is supporting communities. We are carrying these projects largely in the northern part of Ghana and in the mining areas.
We'll come to how the reclamation of lands has gone so far. I know you launched or you embarked on an exercise to do that, but let's find out from you how the nano copper technology has gone so far. We know there is a report that you were supposed to have come out with. How far with the report as well?
Yeah, thank you very much. So on the use, I would say, dechemicalization, where we are using the ionic nano copper to treat our water bodies. This is part of EPA's mandate to protect our environment, which we have water as part of it. We all know the state of our water bodies. So EPA took it up to find ways to clean our water bodies as it is, because with the level of pollution of our water, we have communities still using the water as it is. And so we thought EPA should come up with the technology to clean the water bodies. One is the dechemicalization, which we have proved the concept where we did it at Brim River. We collaborated with Ghana Water Company Limited, CSIR, Ghana Water Resources Commission, Ghana Atomic Energy Commission, Ghana Standards Authority, and I've already mentioned CSIR, their Water Research Institute. So altogether, we worked and proved the concept that the technology works. All we need now is the time and the resources to clean our water bodies. The reports, we have seen some on the social media. We've done it's already out, a comprehensive report from all these. So what we did as EPA is that allowed other institutions to pick samples before and after the application to test and come up with the results. So EPA did its own, Water Resource Commission did, Ghana Water did, Ghana Atomic Energy Commission did. And because all of us are government institutions, we contracted a private sector or a private company to also go through the same process, and they also came up with their results. And all of them are comparable. So we have proven the concept. All I say we are looking for is the funds and the time to clean the river bodies in the country.
I want to find out from you, from the reports that you've been able to get and the findings, and after the cleaning of the water, what happens to the chemicals in there?
Yeah, so for this particular technology, we see that it's harmless. It's even can use to treat fishes that are sick,
Okay.
and it's proven that it's harmless to the body. So the technology is such that it consumes every other thing aside water when you apply it in any or in polluted water. So there's no problem with the chemical. We are looking at other options. So we're looking at other technologies. We've seen some presentations to us. We're looking at the viability, the costs involved, the sustainability of all of these technologies before. So one, we have proven the concept on this. We see that the issues that is associated with this is just the costs. And we are looking at other technologies to compare and then see what we can recommend to government to do their application on large scale. So we have so many river bodies that are polluted in the country, and this is a concern. And many communities are already depending on these river bodies. Some just put alum to get it clean to use. Some just leave it to settle, and then they use the top to do whatever they do. Some even use it as it is to bath and to drink, and they move on. The issue we have to discuss here is the need to get the water clean and not the cost. Is it less expensive for one person to even die, or less expensive for a whole community to get kidney disease or have birth defects and all of that? So that is what we should be concerned on. Cost shouldn't be a problem. The issue of solving the problem should be a matter of discussion. So that is what EPA is seeking to do here.
Let's talk about the land reclamation. But first, let's start with the level of distraction that Galamsey has actually brought into the country when it looks at the various lands. And for the work you have done as at EPA and you going around, what can you tell us about the level of distraction and how easy or difficult will it be when it comes to the reclamation of the various destroyed lands?
Yeah, thank you. So apart from the water bodies that are completely polluted, and that is enough discussion to have, we also have the land itself degraded, and we need to restore the land as a nation, or let's say as EPA. It's in our mandate to reclaim the land and restore the land back to its original state. So we slowly doing reclamation. We are encouraging private sector to also come in to reclaim the land, and investors even to come in to reclaim the land. And through projects, we are also doing that as EPA and through IGF. This year, we're doing audits of how much degraded land we have and how much we have been able to reclaim in the past year and also this year. So this is a process we are already on, and we hope to come up with some reports. As also an authority, we are doing the state of environment reports, and the reports will come out. So both on our land, our water, our trees, how much trees we have also lost in these past years will also come up in our state of environment report.
Wow. So you are doing everything right, but are there challenges you'd want to highlight from your side? Maybe people are watching, people would have to know what the EPA is doing, but the challenges that maybe the general public also have to help the EPA jump that particular hurdle. If you can highlight a few of the challenges that they are facing.
Yeah, thank you. There are a lot of challenges, obviously. So, of course, one is the resources. We wish that we have every resource to do or carry on our mandates, but we have limited resources. So we work within limited resource and try to make impact as much as possible. We have other challenges. People use the name of EPA to do so many dubious things out there, and these are challenges. But once we get to know, we apply the law as much as possible. So far, so good. We're trying to work hard. We also expect our staff to work as much as we expect to have impact on the environment.
The issue of sanitation also comes up sometimes when we talk about the environment and all that. How is EP also tackling that aspect as well?
Okay, so at the household scale, it's under the local government. At the national, or I would say large scale, is under EPA. So waste management is under local government actually, but then we help we work collaboratively in some of the areas like plastic management, for instance. EPA works together with the local government to do urban burning or open burning. We've come up with regulation to stop open burning. In fact, when you are caught, the law has to deal with you. But then we don't implement it directly. We work together with local government and the Ghana police to do the implementation. And so we work together on some of the areas, but not in every area. Some are completely under local government.
And people also know that when it comes to maybe noise pollution, you're supposed to come to EPA.
Yes, exactly. So we deal with noise. So anything about the environment is under EPA. So we deal with noise, we deal with water, we deal with air quality, and then the land as well. So yes, noise, yes, it's a big challenge how to ensure. We get a lot of complaints from neighbors about if it's not church or mosque, it is nightclub, business, animals, birds, or livestock, or something, some kind of noise. So we get complaints all the time from neighbors. So we have our monitors. We go to check the noise level, and we give warning to neighbors. It's a difficult area for us as EPA. It's very challenging to control noise. This noise monitoring, we can monitor to give the result, but to control, to regulate the situation, it's a big challenge for us.
So what can the general public also do, sort of helping EPA to do its work when it comes to the noise part? You're saying that it's a very difficult task when it comes to that.
Yeah, so we expect the general public to comply. At least we have neighbors that we work with. So if you know you're making noise that is nuisance to neighbors, you have to stop, or you have to work within some level, some noise levels, which is not a problem or becomes a challenge to the neighbors. So churches, mosques, nightclubs, and open clubs, and all of those things, they should minimize noise as much as possible. If the neighbors are not complaining, no problem. But once we hear or we receive complaints, we have to act as EPA. We issue warning or we issue penalties depending on the level of non-compliance.
So now let's talk about the air quality. EPA also plays its mandate in that regard. How is that going, especially in the Greater Accra region?
Yes, so we have air quality monitors all over the region, Tema especially, and in Accra. We have in some other regions as well. And we have at some companies as well, ensuring that companies do not pollute the environment, especially the air. We have some level we have some threshold that every company can pollute the environment. So we give reports. If you look at our website, we have daily reports of the air quality at all the stations that we have actually positioned our monitors all over. And so we give the air quality results, and we use that in our permitting. It helps as background information for our permitting that we give.
So you see vehicles that are they are moving, but the emission is very bad and all that.
Yeah.
Is that under EPA's purview to ensure that we do not have these kind of vehicles on the roads?
Yes. So that is between EPA and the DVLA. So we have a committee between EPA and DVLA that's coming up with some regulations, some guidelines how to regulate vehicles of such. So right from the port of entry through when they are already operating in Ghana.
Wow.
Yeah.
But how easy or difficult would that be, knowing that there are vehicles on the roads that ideally they are not supposed to be there?
Yeah, in the past, EPA together with DVLA had the testing station for emissions. And at a point it went off. We are trying to revive such testing stations, the vehicle emission testing stations. So that's one activity we are currently working together with DVLA on. So we have threshold that we put as guidelines for vehicles. Once your vehicle emission goes beyond a certain threshold, it has to be packed down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. You've touched on almost all the things that we need to talk about today, but let me go back to Galamsey. Are we winning the fight?
Yes, so I would say we have done well because we've not concluded. I would say we have not had illegal mining completely off. We have not cleaned our water bodies. We have not reclaimed all our lands. I would say we are not 100% done, but we have made significant progress. We've recovered a lot of forests, which used to be a no-go area for us. We have taken some people off the Galamsey sites. We have seized some finds from the port of entries. We have seized excavators from port of entry. We have seized some excavators on site. We have seized some chemicals like cyanide, some mercury. We have seized some on the field. We've made significant progress. We've not won it yet, but we have made progress.
Is it a difficult task?
Yes, it is difficult. We all know the difficulty, but we are on. We thank the president for his support. Throughout last year, this year, the president has been very supportive, especially with this fight of Galamsey, encouraging us to do what we have to do as EPA and other institutions that are mandated within this space. Even the water cleaning, the reclamation of the land, I remember he calling us to encouraging us. He has called me to the house to encourage us to do our best on this. There's a lot of difficulty, we know. How to deal with Ghanaians in this space is difficult, but he's with us, supporting us on the field.
So that means you are doing a lot when it comes to Galamsey, and we are just hoping and praying that the support that the EPA needs will be able to get, and we'll be able to win the fight. But when we're starting the conversation, you made mention of 2,300 new staff. Beyond that, what is happening at EPA?
Okay, so the number of staff, I would say, has also brought the efficiency that we need. We have improved on our turnout time for the permit processing. We have improved on our compliance monitoring. There are places we never used to go. Today, we are there ensuring compliance. So almost gray areas we have identified, we are touching there. So all our offices with enough staff now are working, I would say, effectively. And it shows in our mandates what exactly we have to do on the environment, and also in our generation of the IGF that we're supposed to also have. So we're seeing improvement in every sphere of EPA.
So now if someone wants a permit from EPA, it's faster, I guess.
Yes, so we have improved on the time that we spend on working on the permit, yes.
And again, we know, do you have the issue of Goro Boys? Or your outfit do not? Or is it everywhere?
I would say yes and no. EPA work is very technical.
Yes.
So we hear things happening, especially with the Galamsey issues.
Yes.
So we have people who dress like EPA or take an outfit like EPA and go out there as if they are doing EPA work, but they go around collecting money anyhow. So that we hear, but we've not really pinpointed any person on that. We have people that also go around with other undertakings, also posing as EPA and even national security. So it's like EPA national security combination going on monitoring of some sort to do whatever they try to do there. But the work of EPA itself is so technical that Goro Boy issue is not, doesn't happen. No.
You've made mention of your staff, and now you've been able to expedite things when it comes to maybe getting the permits and all that. But what of the digitization part? You've spoken extensively about it. But when it comes to the shift system for your staff, is there anything like that? We know the 24-hour economy. Has EPA started already?
Yes. So we have piloted a 2-shift system, not a 3 shifts like 24-hour system per se, but like that's a system we have started at EPA, a 2-shift system. So we run 2 shifts. So some staff come in the morning, some come in the afternoon, and close in the night. But It has improved on, again, the efficiency, and we have also introduced an online permitting system, which we have rolled it out already. We've started receiving applications from proponents. So instead of the paper filling of forms, now proponent can fill it online. And so once you go to EPA website, you can fill your application online as if it's the same paper type that we have put online. You can fill every detail you need to fill there, even upload and attach every document that you need to attach there. You don't need to walk to EPA office. You can do everything from the comfort of your home, and that has also helped with the turnaround time for our processes. So we're migrating online on our permit applications and even the processes. So once you put in the application, you receive a text message or an email saying your application is submitted successfully. When we start processing the application, you also receive an alert that we have started processing the application. At every stage, when we need any further document, you also receive a message for a specific document we need or any other thing you need to do. If your application is complete, you also receive a message that your application is complete for processing. At every stage, we send you information. Even when your document is ready for signing, you still receive a message that your document is at the signing stage and that the CEO will sign, or something of that kind of communication we have started doing. Previously, it used to be a paper application. You don't get to hear anything unless you call or you go to EPA. But this time, the system interacts with you, giving you enough information on the process of your permit application.
Wow, so at every stage you are informed.
Exactly.
So you need not to panic.
Not at all.
Wow, interesting.
Even if your application would delay for any reason, you still get to be notified on that.
We've spoken a lot about EPA things and you being the charges you are putting in place to ensure that we keep our environment. Okay, cool. But recently, we saw in the news that you are the global president of the NDC Professional Forum.
Yes.
Tell us about that. And how are you handling this and that as well?
All right, thank you. So the NDC Professionals Forum, it's a professional group who are members of the NDC, and we put ourselves together to support the NDC party with our expertise and also support with policy direction and even with campaign and financials, So, so the group started in 2018, putting ourselves together after, I think, Kwesi Boche's reports after we lost the election in 2016. And so 2017, the pioneers started thinking about how best we can put professionals together to support the NDC as a think tank group for the NDC. So 2018, the group started operating, and we have so far so good reached this point. Last year, we lost our global president, and we put in place an acting president. But again, our time for Congress was also up. It's a 4-year mandate that I have now. And so we needed to go for Congress. And at Congress, we elect our executives. So there was a call for nomination, and I put myself up to contest as the group president, and other executives also put themselves up. And thankfully, I was the only one that put myself up through the support of many that understands my vision and supports my vision for the party. And so we went for a Congress, and I won through a yes vote of a 91% support from members of the NDC Professionals Forum.
Overwhelming majority.
Yes, thank you very much. So a yes won over a no, and was elected a global president. So I let me use the opportunity to thank all the support that I got from the NDC Professionals Forum and even the members of the NDC who have been supporting me through the party. That is party work. So we are geared to work. We are geared to move the professionals in the party as originally plan to form the group as a think tank for the party to support party strategy, the party's policy. So that is what we are geared up to do. Together with my executives, we really want to drive the professional group to come up with the best for the party. We are party members, first of all, before putting ourselves together as a professional group. So to qualify to be a member of the NDC professionals, you first must be a registered member of the NDC at your branch and also be a professional with an academic profession. So we have doctors, we have nurses, we have teachers, we have professors like me in there. We have accountants, we have health workers, we have journalists, we have lawyers, all sort of professionals in there that is supporting the NDC party.
As part of your work also, we know that you are very heavy when it comes to, you talk a lot more about climate change issues. You are the vice chair of IPCC working group 2, right?
Exactly.
Okay, good. So how are we going about when it comes to climate change issues in this country? You've also actually spoken about flooding before.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's hear more from you.
Yeah, thank you. So as a country, we get a lot of flooding during the wet season, the rainy season, and we also have droughts during the dry season. So I've had questions on this before. Why do we get flooding and why do we get droughts about the same time when we have these seasons happening? So this is climate change happening. It's a global issue, but we feel it locally as a country. One thing we are experiencing, which is devastating, is the loss of our coasts, the coastline, the coastal erosion.
Yeah, the coastal erosion.
Yeah, due to sea level rise. And so we are getting our coasts really devastating. And so it's a worry and it's a concern to even the global community. At the IPCC, my work as a vice chair is to ensure that all countries, especially me, I stand in for Africa, we have equal voice at the United Nations platform to bring home the needed benefits that we need to get from climate change, but also present our cases, our stories, our challenges on climate change also to the United Nations through the IPCC to ensure that we have it well documented and also get it heard out there. So Ghana this last year won the chair for the African Group of Negotiators, and that is sitting at the in EPA here. So we are proud to announce that as well. So that is for us to lead. So EPA is now leading the whole African Group of Negotiators on the issues of climate change. So when it comes to the benefits on, let's say, adaptation funds, the carbon credit funds, and all of those things, we are able to lead as a country to bring it to Ghana. EPA, as I sit here, we have the Carbon Market Office, where we are leading the discussion on carbon credits in the country and even in Africa, because we have been able to transfer our first credits to Switzerland. This is the first of its kind in Africa and the biggest of its kind, actually, in the whole world. So we are doing well as EPA, even when it comes to that. We are coming up with regulation on carbon credit because we have a lot of carbon credits in the country because of our forest, and we are getting a lot of companies coming to seek for credits from us in exchange of money and exchange of technology. So we are getting e-vehicles in the country. If you have heard, we are getting
EVs,
other
electronic
technologies,
vehicles.
electronic vehicles, electronic bicycles, and motorbikes also in the country. We are getting technologies for water, boreholes. Yes, so for areas that do not have water or good water, drinking water especially. So we, in exchange of these technologies and sometimes cash, cook stoves and others. Others are coming in to reclaim our lands for credits, for carbon credits. So we are at a good position as a country, but we need to put regulations together to guide us in doing that. So with the experience that we've had over the years, we have put up a regulation waiting for approval from Parliament.
Wow, interesting. So as the climate change impact in Ghana, are we doing what is right to ensure that we do not have great impact when it comes to the climate change, or we need to do more?
Okay, so we have put all the documentation we need to put together. We need to do more on the education bit.
Okay.
So we write to the UNFCCC what we can do as a country in terms of adaptation and in terms of mitigation. Yeah, so we have, as a country, submitted our nationally determined contribution to the UNFCCC. That's document that is helping us, or to informing the United Nations what you're going to do as a country in terms of helping our people locally on adaptation and also mitigation. So we will need to adapt to the impact of climate. So I mentioned the coastal erosion and sea level rise issue. What we are going to do as a country, building breaks for the sea to not to take too much of the sea defense wall, and also the planting of trees, adverts we've been doing, reclaiming our land, all of these issues we have put in there. And in terms of mitigation, yes, planting of trees, using new technologies that will cut down on emissions and all of that in there. So it's a guide that we submit to UNFCCC, but we also use it as a country in communities and in different stakeholders' engagement to ensure that we're doing our best. We have also mainstreamed climate change in many sectors, like the health sector, agri sector. We've introduced or mainstream climate change in there. So in every sector, we are ensuring that we're doing our best in terms of climate change mitigation. But we also need to adapt, which we're also doing. Yeah.
So do citizens or the ordinary Ghanaian have a role to play in this?
Yeah, definitely. So every Ghanaian is supposed to help with the issue of mitigation. So use less power.
Okay.
We've all heard how we should save power. For instance, it's one of those activities or actions we need to do as individuals. We have also heard to plant trees, not to cut trees, and all of that. So these are things we can do as individuals. Use minimal water and all of that.
So as we are wrapping up the interview, we've started on a very good note with the EPA. Where is the EPA seeing itself in the next year or two, with you as the Chief Executive Officer, as we are wrapping up the interview?
Thank you. So we're seeing that EPA will go paperless in a few months. EPA will get all contract staff regularized, because we need that staff strength to help with the EPA work. So we see that what we have so far has improved efficiency, and that is what we have in both ways, with our mandate and also in the financials. So we're seeking clearance to be able to regularize all the contract staff, as many as we have currently. And we want to ensure that we deliver on our mandates to all Ghanaians to be happy with our environmental laws as much as possible. This year, we are going to celebrate the World Environment Day. The theme is on climate action. And what we are coming up with is for every house to have a tree in the house. So you won't just plant a tree, but you will nurture and grow the tree. We want to ensure that every house has a tree. And so this is one thing we are coming up with. We want to see this happen under my mandate.
Thank you so much, Prof. Thank you so much, Professor Nanama Brown-Klutse, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Environmental Protection Authority. And we've brought you all what you need to know in this particular authority. And we'll also be monitoring the works of the Environmental Protection Authority in terms of the digitalization, the cashless, the paperless, actually, and also how we are fighting illegal mining in this country. Stay with us here on Breakfast Daily on Channel One TV. We'll bring you more after this.